This video is about the basics, and the basics mean what do you got to do to maximize the revenue that you actually put into your pocket as a rideshare driver. So for example, you could go out and you could make $100, but if you're spending $80 in expenses, you're only going to net $20. Or you could go out and you could make $60 and only spend $10 in expenses, and then you're netting $50. So it's not about how much you make, but it's about how much you actually put into your pocket. So in this video, I'm going to cover 5 or 6 suggestions that I have for you that I have found over my 7 years of driving that have helped me to keep my eye on the prize, which is the amount of money I put into my pocket. And stick around. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the number 1 tool or suggestion that I have for maximizing revenue, which has served me well over 28,000 rides. Hey everybody, it is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, and I came back to America in August, and I've been doing a little driving on the weekends. My work during the week is mostly on screens, so I wanted to have a little more human interaction, talk to some folks. I've been doing just like 40 rides on the weekends, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned over the last 8 years of driving, and today we're going to be talking about revenue. My first suggestion: buy the cheapest gas you can. All right, gas is gas. There isn't like a better gas or a worse gas. And that's your main expense. That's what you're going to spend the most on. And in my case, it's about 15% of what I make goes out to gas. I suggest you check out Costco. Costco tends to have the least expensive gas. In my case, I have an Arco, an AM/PM near me. And that's usually where I go. It's about 20 cents, 10 cents more expensive, but it's much closer for me and much more convenient. But you want to find the cheapest gas because that's going to be your main expense. Number 2, get as much in tips as you can. As you know, we get to keep 100% of our tips. And the best thing you can do to get tips is to start a friendly conversation and listen. Ask some good questions and listen. Your best tips are going to come from the airport runs. That's because people are excited, they're happy. You're going to help them with their luggage, and they just always seem to give a 10 or 20% tip. And that's why I love those airport runs in the early morning. So that's pure profit in your pocket, in addition to what you make as a driver. So become a good listener and get those tips. Number 3, keep your car clean. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And when people get into my car, they almost always comment, "This is a nice car, it's very clean." And that's because once a week, I go and I get my car washed and I shake off the mats and just make sure it's in good shape. I carry a Ozium in my car. So if I get a passenger who smelled bad, that we got a lot more passengers getting high now because it's legal in California. So I got to disinfect and, get that smell out of my car. Otherwise they think I'm getting high. And if you have a service like a Quick Quack car wash, that's really great. It's like $30 a month I spend, and I can go as often as I want throughout the month. I usually go once a week, so it's like $7.50 a car wash, and they do a great job. But you want to make that first impression. That will help you to get more tips. Number 4, drive efficiently, but not too fast, okay? You don't want to be a slow driver. I've actually had passengers tell me that the last driver they had was just too slow. You want it to be a relaxed ride, but you want to get them there efficiently. And most passengers will appreciate that. They don't want to be sitting in a car longer than they have to. So it's a fine line. I've been tagged a few times by passengers that have said I drove too fast. But compared to all the people that were happy that I drove fast, it definitely better to be on the side of too fast than too slow. That's my recommendation. Try it out for yourself. See how it impacts your tips. Number 5, be sure and stay on top of the bonuses. The bonuses can add quite a lot. Here in Sacramento, on the weekends, they have bonuses that can get me between an extra 100 to 150. And that's for doing like 40 or 50 rides. So that's like an extra $2 to $3 per ride. So check out the bonuses, sign up for the bonuses so that you get what you're due for doing the rides that you're doing. The final one, number six is drive when other drivers aren't driving, okay? If you're driving during the daytime, during the normal, drive times, there's a ton of other drivers out there, and you're gonna sit in between rides waiting. I like to start driving at 4 a.m. because at 4 a.m, it feels like I'm the only guy out there. and I just get rides, boom, 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 boom. On a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, I can go from 4 a.m. until noon and not stop, right? No gaps, right? Because people sleep in on Sundays, people take the day off on Sundays. You want to be the driver that's out there when the other drivers aren't. And this is probably why I can make $30 an hour in a little market like Sacramento, because I stay so busy during every single hour. I just don't have those gaps. So you got to figure out, what you're willing to do. If I really wanted to crush it, I would probably start driving at 11 at night and go all through until like 9 the next morning. But then I'd get a lot of drunk people, which I don't really care for. Even driving at 4 a.m, I do get some people who are a little buzzed but mostly tired. Last weekend I had someone at 7 a.m. get in my car, and he was going. And he just really wanted to tell me about the orgy that he was just had and get into all these details, and sometimes you just got to listen and let someone talk. So, you're still going to get some of that even at 4 a.m. And if you're comfortable with driving, intoxicated people around, clearly Friday night and Saturday night are great nights to drive and take people home from the bars or from parties that they've attended. But the key is drive when other drivers aren't driving, and that the demand for you is high then, and you're going to stay busy. And the busier you stay every single hour, the more you can reduce the dead time in between rides, the more you're going to maximize your revenue. So what are the key takeaways here? Driving is a business. You got your revenue and you got your expenses. You take your revenue less your expenses, and then you got your net revenue. So maximize how much you can make and reduce the expenses as much as you can, and that's the recipe. That's how you can maximize the amount of money that you can make as a ride-share driver. All right? So I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet to this YouTube channel, subscribe. We bring out great content several times a week. All right? And this is Jay Crater saying thanks for watching again. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there. Bye for now.